So Absent You Remain is basically a poem writing about my experiences, my point of view of growing up in a single parent household. My mom raised four kids alone, and my father in particular chose not to really have an active role in my life. And this is basically just talking about my point of view in reference to not having him in my life. It was written when I was in my early 20s. So some of the stuff is not really relevant to how I think today per se, but it still captures most of what I was thinking about, and it's still relative, to today. Long story short, my father was in Tennessee, and we were raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My father always knew where we were at, but he really didn't take the initiative to establish a relationship with us, an ongoing relationship with me and my brother. And as a result, I got used to it, and I preferred it actually as I got older and started to see what the world was like and how his lack of input in my life probably was better because I heard some other stories from other siblings that it wasn't so great for them. He had another set of children that he actually raised in his home, and me and my brother were the younger um, children from another mother. So anyway, um, I pretty much gave my father a second, third, fourth, who knows how many times chance, and every time I would be open to entertaining him, he would not come through with his promises and disappoint myself and my brother. Um, I really was not really concerned about him per se. It was more so for my brother that I wanted to try to be civil with my father, but nevertheless, it just never really worked out. I remember being about 32, 33 at my great aunt's funeral, and this old man came walking up to me. It says to me, "Hey, you're not gonna hug me?" And I promise you, I had no idea who this person was. Come to find out, it was my father. We hadn't seen each other in probably about 16 years, um, and that's a whole other story. But nevertheless, I, because of my brother wanted to have a relationship with my father, I entertained him again just to try to be let bygones be bygones, and I did. And once again, he made promises, did not keep them, and really upset my brother. So that upset me. Long story short, I didn't really talk to him anymore for the rest of my life until he got on his deathbed about 9 months before he passed away. His children that he raised told me he was getting ready to transition, um, and they wanted to give me a chance to, I guess, address him or talk to him, whatever. So I did um, talk to him, and I told him that I forgave him, just for my own purpose. Um, I didn't really give him a whole bunch of my input because at that point it really was no point in doing so. And so that's what that was. But I just thought it was so not cool that his children always expected for me and my brother to drop whatever we were doing and elevate this man as if he was just some type of god, and put whatever our differences aside and welcome him into our life as if he was part of our life. So I just never understood that, but I was never disrespectful to him. Um, and it kind of created a divide between me and his children, his my older half siblings. Anyway, they have their opinion of how their relationship was with their father, and I have mine. Mine wasn't so great, point blank. It wasn't so great. But I'm okay with that, you know. I feel like since he was so out of my life that I really would not have benefited from him coming to my life at such a later time, when I'd already established who I am as a person. Um, he didn't add any value to me. So anyway, this is called "An Absent You Remain," and it's about my father. Throughout my life, there were a lot of things that were unexplained. You weren't there for my childhood, and absent you remained. I hope you're proud of your actions and of what has resulted. In my eyes, you're not much of a man. If someone were to refer to you as my father, I would truly be insulted. You were never active in our lives, but we were not ashamed. You were supposed to be my father, and absent you remain. Somehow I feel cheated as if I weren't given a fair shake. But that's not true because I was blessed with a loving mother, for heaven's sake. As a child, I pretended that I didn't need you because to admit that was too much of a harsh reality. I didn't want to believe you were important or that your absence affected me. My mother did a hell of a job, and without her, I wouldn't be where I am. If you challenge that statement, you have a lot of nerves, and about your opinion, I don't give a damn. I didn't really have a true male influence, and that's partially because I didn't give anyone a chance. Maybe that's the reason some brothers feel the need for male affection, aka homosexual romance. Yes, I really needed you, as hard as that is for me to say, and believe it or not, lack of male role models in one's life is part of the reason some men end up gay. With an attitude like yours, I'm sure you think you're not to blame. Maybe that's the reason you chose to abstain from my life and absent you remain. I hope I had hoped for you as recently as months ago, but because of reality check, I had to hope go. You made time for your other children, which left me with resentment for them that they didn't deserve. I should not have held them accountable for your lack of participation in my life. That's a right you solely reserve. There's no doubt, this is no doubt a negative poem, but it has a message from me to you. You helped create me, and that's something you can be proud of no matter what you do. You knew that I needed you, and absent you remain. If I was forced to make a statement about you, I'm sorry to say I would have to abstain. You chose to stay absent, never given the power of your voice. Now I realize you could not have made a better choice. And absent you remain, and absent you shall be. If you ever need help, please don't come looking for me.